Hi, thank you for joining me today for another video for May I Scraplift You, a month-long hop created by Crystal Barrett of Pineapple Papers. I'll leave her link below. And today I've chosen to scraplift this gorgeous layout that you can see in the top right-hand corner from Nicole Nowosad. And I absolutely loved it. She's used Print Shop and I've stayed true, and I'm going to use Print Shop as well. But first of all, for my stenciling in the background, I decided that I wanted to use this All and Create stencil, which I am a little bit obsessed with at the moment, so I apologise if you keep seeing this and the stamp set that matches in my layouts, but I just I can't get enough of it. So I'm stenciling it with my bundled sage and the Vicki Boutin stencil brush, which is brilliant for providing a small wash of colour and just a gradual wash as well. So I'm just moving the stencil about, lining up the circles so that I can create a shape going from smaller at the top to larger at the bottom, almost like a triangular shape. So almost finished with that, just finishing off, making sure that I'm happy with all the stenciling and that I've got enough going far enough down. So now that's done, I'm following on the theme that Nicole has used, and I've got a photo of myself on my 42nd birthday, so quite a while ago now. And I'm just going to title it This Is 42. So I'm creating the circular elements that Nicole's got on her layout. The first one is from the vellum paper and says right here. And then the other two I shall use the pattern paper circles. I know that Nicole has done some stitching and used half circles to create hers, but I just wanted to get this done really. And I love these circles. I didn't really want to mess with them too much. I like the plain colours. So that's why I just left them as they are. And just cutting around slightly outside the circle just so that it matches the size of that vellum circle as well. And you can see I did make myself a stencil, but it was on the right hand side of the page there, but I didn't actually end up using it. It's just there on the left now. So just sticking my photo down to some scrap card so that I can create a little white border around it before I start layering up the papers behind. And I'm going to be pulling out the blues and greens to mimic the blue in my dress, and it's a navy blue dress, and the greens in the trees behind me. We were at a local beauty spot called Lim Dam. We'd been for a lovely family brunch, and then we went walking around the dam afterwards. Although my birthday's in November, it was a gorgeous sunny day, you can see in that photo. It was really lovely, and it's something that we've done quite often now for birthdays. So just cutting down the second piece. This is the same paper, just the reverse of it, but the colours work really nicely, so I decided to use the two of them. And I'll layer them up like that. I will go in with my edge distresser in a minute, just to slightly distress those edges. First of all, I'm trying to work out how to layer this all up. So at first I think that notebook paper will work, but then I find this green piece and I much prefer that. So that just gets layered behind there. And then I find this little label, which I'll add to the left, just to add my journaling of where we were and the date. And then this piece that says Everyday Magic. And I just like that. So then I spot this vine, and I think that will look really nice coming out that bottom right hand corner, but it was disappearing on the green circle, so I've just swapped those two circles around so that you can see it more. And then a little flower just to finish off that tiny corner cluster. So now that I'm more or less happy with what I've got going on, I'm going to glue everything down. Of course, I glue it down. Then remember, I wanted to distress the edges, so coming in with my edge distresser now. And like I say, just lightly distressing them. These papers are from the paper pad, so they're quite flimsy, so they don't need a lot of working. And again, gluing this piece down and then distressing the edges. Just using my fingernails to rough up those edges where I couldn't get in easily with the edge distresser. And then getting that notebook paper stuck down and the label. I thought it was there at first, but then I remembered it was underneath the photo, so I just quickly move it, and that's fine. So now I've got the main map down, I can start working on the rest of it. So just deciding exactly where I want to position that photo before I commit to sticking that down. So first of all, just dressing the edges of the circles. As I'd done it with the main photo mats, I decided that I should probably do it with the circles as well. Also hides a multitude of sins. My cutting it in a circle isn't brilliant, so by just dressing the edges, it looks much more smooth than it was when I did it. So again, getting those positioned, and then in a minute I will stick everything down. Here we go. So once that main block is down, it's much easier to get the circles in place and work out what else I want to add. So sticking the circles before I had that vine. And on this vellum, I'm just careful to just add the glue behind the gold where it's opaque so that it doesn't show through. And then getting those last little bits stuck on. It's a bit of a fiddle, isn't it? Trying to work out where I had that flag that says Everyday Magic, but I managed to work it out in the end. And there we go, that's filled that corner up really nicely. So now I'm going to look through the chipboard pieces just to see if there's anything on here. And I find this that says Think Happy, and I like bringing that yellow into the top of the page just to brighten everything up a bit. It matches in nicely with the gold. And then I pulled out these really old alphabet stickers from American Crafts. These are from 2006. So yeah, quite old now in my stash. They were white and I wanted to change them to gold, so I'm just using my watercolour to do that. And I've just stuck them onto some packaging while the paint dries. Doesn't take long, it's very hot in the UK at the moment. And then I pulled out these Jelly Bean Soup alphabet stickers to write This Is, and I thought I was going to keep them as the craft colour, but once I'd stuck them down and realised how everything was going to go, they just didn't show up enough. So I put them on the layout, and when I realised I want to overlap them onto the gold, it's not going to work, so I will actually colour those in with a pen to make them black. This paper is perfect for fussy cutting, and Nicole had used these flowers on her layout, and I really like the way they looked, so I'm just fussy cut a couple of those out to add to the layout, and now I'm bringing in that 42. And I really like the distressed look that that's got. And here I am now, as I say, just going to colour these in with a black felt tip pen because I wasn't happy with the colour. I think I probably have got them in black somewhere. I don't know why I didn't just pull the black sheet out, but there you go. And that little flower is another one that I'd fussy cut from the sheet of black and white flowers from this collection. So I'm just going to offset these letters against one another. So putting this above the number 42 and then is next to 42, just to keep everything tight in that cluster. And I really do love how that's turned out. So now working out where that little flower is going to go, and I wanted to pop it up onto some foam just to give different dimensions and layers. And the same with that black and white flower. I'll add that to some foam as well. So first of all, this tiny one. And this is the Sticks 2 foam pads that we sell at Hey Little Magpie. They're absolutely brilliant. I use them all the time. As if you've watched my videos before, you will no doubt know. and just getting that stuck down. So while I'm doing this, please don't forget to check out the description box down below to see everybody else who's playing along on this fabulous hop. Crystal has created a playlist, so you can just play that and then watch videos to your heart's content. Everybody's adding daily, so there are more videos added all the time throughout the month of May, and that will be there forevermore, so you can just go back whenever you feel like it. I'll also link Nicole's details down below, so go and give her some love. She's got some amazing creations, so do check her out. I just wanted to add some controlled splatters at the bottom right hand corner here in black, so I'm using my Tim Holtz mask, I think it's called the Coffee Rings mask, something like that, and my black pen just to go through it to create the black splatters. And then once that's done, I will also come in with some gold splatters. So just adding a slightly bigger piece here, and as I was doing it I was thinking, oh, have I made a mistake? But once the gold splatters are over it, it does look really lovely. So just using my gold watercolour paint again to add those splatters in, and controlling where some of them go to make sure that they go on that big black splodge. And just being very careful where these go, just colouring in a bit more of that 42 and then adding them in a diagonal line from bottom right to top left. Then I wanted to come in with some gold sequins again, just a couple, just to lighten the mood. And I've glued those down with some glue. So I'm handwriting the date and where we were on this label, as I've mentioned before. And then finally I'm going to come in with my Nouveau crystal drops in Ebony Black Festival and then the bright gold to finish it off. And that's it. So I'll leave you with me finishing those dots up and some close-ups. And I shall see you again very soon for another video. Thanks so much. Bye.